I'm gonna make these people sponsor me.
Yeah, because I see it every time you go to the supermarket.
So many people message me, they go, listen, I've started drinking that drink because I've seen you I keep on seeing you drinking that drink.
Well, they call it social influencer, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's
product placement, what I'm doing right now.
Perfect product placement.
Millions for that.
Right, so here we go. Here we are with Stamina for Sale, Tunde Ajayi.
Yes, sir.
The manager, the trainer, the entrepreneur, poet, and the philosopher, and the occasional dentist.
Yeah, that's right.
When required. How are you, Tun?
How you doing, my man?
Oh, perfect. Now we've watched you and Anthony go off to Atlantic City.
Yes.
How was that trip? How did that feel?
I think it was excellent. I mean, I went there, you know, specifically to, you know, look at the competition. Obviously, you know, we've been instated #1 in the world, so I feel that the time is right for me to start looking at potential foreign, potential competition. So it was great, but you know, when I told Anthony that I was going, Anthony's like, what? I'm coming, you know. So Anthony didn't really go there. Anthony went there for a holiday because myself and Anthony, we were planning a little getaway. We were still gonna train, but you know, just to relax. Sometimes it's good to change the environment, but you know, everything, as I always say, everything is timing. It just so happened that I had a meeting with Frank Warren on a Monday. He told me that we've been installed #1. On the way home, I phoned Frank and I said, Frank, when is Kovalev fighting again? And he said, Saturday. I said, what? I said, look, just get me 2 tickets. No, at the time I said 1 ticket. Just get me a ticket because I'm going to go and watch him. And when I told Anthony, Anthony said he's coming. And that was it. So
and that's for, just to clarify, it's the WBO ranking that we're talking about.
Yeah, WBO. I think we're #5 in the IBF. But it was good because you had Dimitri Bivol.
Yeah, on the undercard.
On the undercard,
yeah.
Who I think is the IBF champion.
Yeah.
And you had Chilemba, who he faced.
Yeah, Isaac Chilemba. Yeah, he's a
very good fighter, strong fighter. Still, you know, although a veteran in the game. Very good opponent, and
a force, right? In terms
a force, and you had 4 high-level, high-operating fighters.
Light heavyweights and
all light heavyweights.
It makes sense, you know, that you wanted to take a look to see what, you know, what the future may bring.
Yes.
And what do you think of the Kovalev's performance against Alvarez? Do you think it's sort of Kovalev has deteriorated, or do you think it was just Alvarez's time in terms of?
Well, I think both, to be honest with you, because Frank Warren had been saying to me previously, is like, Tun, I'm telling you, he's ready to go. And you know, when it comes to boxing, Frank Warren's word is one that I respect. So, but although, you know, you can respect a man, but it don't mean you have to be blind. It's like, you might have faith, but you don't leave your car window open. You get what I'm saying? So you know, I listened to Frank and I thought it was a good opportunity to see him. And you know, I phoned Frank after the fight and I said, Frank, looks like you was absolutely spot on. You know, but of course it was Alvarez's time.
And his jab looked extremely sharp. So is that one of his best tools, the jab?
Listen, everything. This is what I'm trying to say. There is a difference, and I always have to emphasize this. There's a difference between domestic, European and world boxing, and when you're actually there you can see the difference. You know, it's like a iPhone 6, iPhone 7,
iPhone 10.
No, yeah, the iPhone X. Yeah. It's 3 different levels, and Alvarez was sharp. But I keep telling everyone that I've spoken to, do not count out Kovalev. Kovalev was strong. He was strong, but up until that point, he just got clipped. He got clipped, and
so it's, well, you know, a punch can turn everything in boxing, right? So
oh, absolutely. But again, you're dealing with high-level professionals, and it always brings me back to the question about why we have to take time. We can't, you know, despite how it's looking, you know, you're dealing with a career. You know, Alvarez has been a professional since 2009. Kovalev has been a professional since 2009. And it's like I say, Alvarez didn't just start boxing. He didn't. It wasn't like, oh, some major upset for those that really know boxing. He had been a champion from around his 6th fight. He's been a professional, as I said, for almost.
That was the Intercontinental belt they had.
Yeah, for almost 10 years he's been a professional. Not only that, this guy had been a contender for 5 years. Nobody wanted to fight him.
And he had to sort of, work his way through to get his opportunity finally, right?
It's not an Anthony Yarde situation where we only, I've had 12 amateur fights and only been a professional for 3 years.
Right.
These guys have learned their trade, and that's why they are where they are.
And to sort of, address this in terms of, I think, Anthony and you get a lot of stick for the opponents that you have picked. But I thought about this recently, and the last 3 opponents were Darius Sek.
Yes.
It was well, of course, we had Tony Ajayi and Nikolai Sekloka.
Yes.
And a lot of people said, well, these 3 gentlemen, 2 of them are Eastern European.
Yes.
And they're sort of rubbish collectors or they're journeymen, etc. But in reality, has anyone actually looked at their records? Have they actually seen these people fight?
Yeah.
Where does a world-class operator who's faced top-level opposition, especially in Sekloka,
yes,
how can this guy be, even mentioned as a journeyman, because his record doesn't suggest that, and the way he fights definitely doesn't suggest that at all. So, I mean, do you think there's an element of, because some of these gentlemen are Eastern European, that maybe they've been tarnished with the wrong brush, or there's an element of prejudice against them because maybe they're not from this country, etc., and people just sort of undervalue Eastern European fighters, perhaps?
Yes, well, absolutely. And that's why, in retaliation, one has to be very careful, because the general public are not really interested in records, and it's another reason why sometimes I just start talking like I'm from the road. Like, well, I'm from the road. But I start talking the language that people can understand, because you can get tricked by highly influential people who say things, and because they got the influence, once they say something, everybody just starts believing it. So I gotta talk the language where I come from and tell them that these guys are just liars. How can you say Nikolai Sekloka is a dustbin man? The man's fought 3 world champions, never been stopped, never been dropped. Anthony Yarde, with 12 fights as an amateur and only 14 fights as a professional, not only drops Nikolai Sekloka in the 2nd round, but knocks him out in the 4th round.
Yes, that's like.
So how are you gonna call him a dustbin man when 3 world champions who can punch, knockout artists?
And he put up a good fight. He came to fight.
He come to fight. Listen, him and his dad was giving me and Anthony bad looks in the gym before the fight, because I don't know who set that up. He trained the night before, or 2 days before, a night before the weigh-in, in the gym the same time with us, and Anthony's like, "Unks, you sure we should be training when they train?" I was like, forget them, I don't have business about them.
So there's a bit of mental warfare on their part to try.
Well, it's not really mental warfare, because I'm not competing against them. Myself and Anthony, as I said, we're doing what we're doing. We're trying to be the best that we can be. And oh yeah, I forgot, Adidas.
Oh yeah.
Adidas technology. Just let us show you this. Ads. Dream it, believe it, we're coming. Big ads in the building.
You know what we're saying? Stamina.
Wait, I'm showing them. I just got this Adidas technology. Look, let me show you. Wait.
Adidas technology.
Wait.
You see it? That's
serious.
You know when Superman, when he goes into that thing and then he just changes and then he sorts out the whole world.
I'm telling you, I don't know. I'm not too sure if Adidas have brought these out yet, because they just sent us.
You get me? Ahead of
But
the
you
game.
zip up,
A brand new, yeah.
and you just go.
Pop, and it just
Simple.
pops straight out.
Simple always time. TNT all the time, every day. You know what it is. We don't get weak, we get deep.
That's it.
Stamina for sale, lions in the camp. Trust me, you know what we're doing out
Turn
here.
up short, blow up.
That's it.
Yeah, so sorry, what was I? I forgot what I was saying.
We got sidetracked by Adidas technology. That was it.
Adidas technology. San Pellegrino, best
San
water.
Pellegrino, yeah. So definitely, yeah. I mean, the records of these gentlemen, they're good hard fighters.
That's it.
So what I don't understand is why don't people like, let's say, Jose Burton fight Nikolai Sekloka and find out
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
how much of a dustbin man he is.
Absolutely, this is what I'm trying to say, and this is why, after people being so disrespectful to myself and to Anthony, you ain't getting no chance to fight us unless you beat somebody credible. Because it's okay sitting at home or sitting behind a camera and saying, oh, when are you gonna step up and fight? You see, cause what kind of not rattling me, because I just laugh at most everything. But you know, now you have people commenting on my social media saying that, oh, when's he gonna fight someone? When's he gonna fight someone? And then in the same sentence, you know, supporting other guys. And I'm like, hold on, have you looked at their record? Have you looked at who they fought? They're fighting guys that the British Boxing Board of Control will not even sanction us to fight. Like, one of the fight, all right, let me just, Joshua Buatsi's last opponent, when I asked to fight him, and they said to me, if you ask that question again, I'm going to take your license. So this is what I'm trying to say.
This is the British Board of Control.
No, the British Boxers don't try to get me in trouble. No, the matchmaker.
Oh, the matchmaker, right.
He said, Tun, if I ask them that, they're going to take away your license. And you know what? It was funny. It was said in jest, but I totally understood what he was saying, because it's just like a two-sided coin. You know, the opponents are good enough for them, but then when we ask,
it's a double standard in essence, pretty much, yeah.
It's a double standard, but not by the British Boxing Board,
no.
By certain promoters saying one thing and then making the general public believe that that's what it is. Yeah. Because the general public, they like boxing, they're fight fans, you understand? So they're like, all right, it's like me, we want to see a good fight. But what I'm trying to put over to the fight fans is that, you know, you're dealing with a young man who had limited amateur experience.
Yeah.
You know, and the question is this: all these people saying we ain't fought no one, ask these same people, would these trainers of these fighters that they support, would they put them in world title fights after having 12 amateur fights and being a professional 3 years? Absolutely no. They wouldn't. Even Nicolas Clocker, they wouldn't even put them in a fight like that so early in a young man's career who had limited experience. But guess what? I know what I got. I know what I train, because I'm with Anthony every single day, and I knew that he would be able to deal with this Clocker, a world medalist. So
the confidence was there
as an amateur. You know, and I remember it as clear as day. They was at the press conference, they said Tunde Ajayi has made a big mistake because this guy is not experienced enough.
Too soon, too early, etc.
Too soon, but it's like I always say, sometimes knowledge beats experience. And we have the knowledge with System 9 boxing, and I have a special athlete who is obsessed with progression in Anthony Yarde.
So is there any news about his upcoming fight?
Yeah, but I can't tell you.
Aha, it's top secret, it's under wraps. Do we roughly know the time?
For all information, check our social media.
Aha, social, so keep our eyes peeled.
Instagram, Tunde Ajayi, number 9. Mr. Anthony Yarde, frankwarren.com. And yeah, from what I've been told, there should be an announcement this week.
So it's okay, it's booming, so we'll definitely keep our eyes peeled. And on a lighter note, out in Philadelphia, what was it like to train with the famous Garcias?
Yes.
You know, Angel and his son Danny, you know, what was that experience like?
Great people.
Good
Great people. You know, made the call. The father and Danny, they love that. They're very down to earth individuals, and they in their gym it's akin to this gym. You know, it's a very home environment, but there's actually not many people in the gym. It's just people that Danny grew up. Danny's got the same team with him now as he had at the beginning, and stuff like that inspires me, because those are the kind of people. That's how you want to do it. You want to have the same team around you
from day dot
to whenever it's gonna end. So they were good. Angel is a funny man.
He's a character, of course.
He's a funny man. He told us some stories.
So yeah, I'm sure he would have.
And Danny's just a cool guy. He is the guy that you see. There's no pretense. He's literally a
Very genuine.
humble, genuine man.
Yeah. And he's got a fight with Sean Porter as well, of course.
That's a fight.
So that's good.
That
Yeah.
is gonna
Really
be a
good fight. Showtime.
That is going to be
Sean
a
Porter.
fight. And don't get fooled, Danny doesn't close his eyes and throw no left hook. That left hook has been practiced and perfected over the years. And if it catches you, it's good night, nurse.
And the food, the inevitable food questions. Where did you guys go? Did you try the world famous Philly cheesesteaks?
Oh my goodness, we went to, what's the place called? Not Joe's. I forgot the place. Danny Garcia sent us.
That's like a diner.
Yeah, it's a diner. Is it Fats or? Yeah, Danny Garcia said, yeah, there's only one place to go in Philadelphia. When we went there, we was looking left or right because we thought we was gonna get shot or something. You understand? All for a Philly cheesesteak.
It looked like a rough part of the neighborhood, but
but the Philly cheesesteak was on point. It was serious. It's so nice. And we went back. They got the massive jalapenos that you just pick. It's unbelievable, and it explains the obesity level in America.
Yes, the food is too good.
The food is too good, and the portions are ridiculous. But yeah, the whole trip, it was very educational, but it was also fun. And anyone that knows myself, Anthony, the team, BILAL, Ade, we're about having fun because it's proven. You know, people learn better when they're having fun.
Of course, yeah, we saw Anthony just the other day on social media training with a Segway. He was doing the first 40 on the Segway.
Again, when we done that, I was like, Ant, this is gonna blow, you know. And
never seen that before.
You never see it.
Good balance though, good balance to keep on the Segway.
It shows. It shows for somebody to maintain that. Listen, it's hard enough just going on a Segway, let alone doing a combination on the Segway. But again, it shows the kind of athlete Anthony is. Tremendous balance, you know, good center of gravity, and it may look easy, but it's not easy.
Well, it's good when you enjoy your work, you know, it shines through.
Yes, yes.
And just to ask lastly, Ade, how did you meet Coach Ade? Because we heard his part of the story.
Oh, wow.
What you put him through, so we just want to know, you know, how you met him and what were your first, you know, opinions of what you actually think when you actually met him.
It's like I say, I try to emphasize this to all young, whether they're boxers or whether they're trainers. When you don't just get here, you know, it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication. And I remember I used to, you know, I was so eager to learn that I was training people most times for free. And then I remember I was training people for £3 a session, £5 a session. You ain't getting that today, I'll tell you that for free. You best have some money. But no, it never, I don't believe anybody who is actually passionate about what they're doing goes in it for money. You know, you want to learn, it's something that you can't live without. And back in those days, I was training people and I had like the 40 punch combination. Ade was one of my clients, and I remember I used to be shouting at him like, what's the matter with you? Keep your eyes, look at me. You know, and but one thing I remember about Ade, he always had that authoritative kind of aura. And as time went on, you know, I said, Ad, you can be a good trainer, you know, and I don't think Ade actually believed it, you know, but I've got a good eye, you know, for talent in most fields. I don't know why I've got that, but I see things way before a lot of people. And I said, Ade, you can be a good trainer. And I feel today, you know, I was saying to Ade, I'm so happy for Ade and BILAL, because again, where the fight is concerned, you've got someone with no amateur experience. What, 2-3 fights? Anthony only had 12 fights. You know, BILAL has only had 3 fights as an amateur. And Ade, he has not been taught boxing by anyone but myself. I've given him a blueprint. Him and BILAL are growing daily, and I'm so excited for them, because it will be another opportunity for people to see that I created something. I created something that if you follow it, you will be successful to the point and the level that you commit to what it is you've got. Ade's hungry.
So as much as you put in is as much as you'll get out.
What you put in is what you get out. Practice makes perfect. Ade's hungry. Bilal's hungry. And what better role models or examples, I don't like the word role model because we're not perfect. But what better examples to have than myself and Anthony? You know, Bilal as a fighter, you know, looking up to someone or being in the gym every day with someone who's now the #1 ranked fighter in the world. And Ade having the experience, my experience to draw off of. I tell Ade all the time, I say, Ade, this is gonna be 100 times easier than what it was for me. Because I've had to break down barriers. You know,
you had to be the icebreaker, so
I had to be the icebreaker. I had to be the one who took all the criticism and all the stick and all the laughing at, oh Tunde, what's all that, bro? You can't train fighters like that. But Ade won't need to go through that. People still gonna be doubtful. But as I said to him, the way you deal with doubt is just do what you say you're gonna do. You won't need to talk as much as I've spoken. The reason what, because you know, you know, when all said and done, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter.
That's the old saying, right? The first they ridicule you, then they try to discredit you, then they try to fight you, and then you win.
Well, I wouldn't even say that. I don't even put they in my mindset. It ain't about them. I teach this. It ain't about them. It's always what Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror. That's all it's about. There ain't no enemy.
It's just you.
We're all born equally. We're all coming out, or you know, we're all coming out by some means. I know there's a few more means other than you know, just coming out of a, but I'm sure we will come out women from a woman.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the case, unless something's changed. And so we all have a chance, and we can all achieve something. And I feel that from the areas that we've come from everything what's happening in London at the moment, specifically in London. That's why I shout it, because I'm a ghetto superstar. I'm a London superstar. I'm making the people from the ends, from where I come from, know that there ain't no excuses. Yes, we may have started off, you know, with more difficulties than others. Sorry, I know I'm going away from the question, but I'm passionate about this because a lot of kids are dying out there. A lot of kids are getting shot, stabbed, and what have you. And I'm just trying to show them, talk the same language as them, and let them know that if you just sacrifice, find out your only job in life is to find out what you're gifted at. And once you know what you're good at, you just keep on working hard and you don't focus on nothing else until you become what you want to become. And that's why I keep saying it in the language that my people can understand and that everybody can understand. Dream it, believe it, become it. You see it, lions in the camp.
On that fantastic note, Tunde, we shall leave you for now. We know you're a very busy man, but you know, we appreciate.
I'm going to watch my son play football.
Oh yes, of course.
Crystal Palace against Sheffield United. I think it's Sheffield United today.
And he's a striker, right? He's
a striker. Okay. I know he's a bit shy, so I don't really want to embarrass him. He's not like me. where that's concerned, obviously he's got the genetics, but I got a bit of a big mouth, so but I know when to talk and when to keep quiet. But my son Joshua Ajayi is very humble, nice young man, chip off the old block, more handsome than me, taller than me. He's everything that I wanted to be. See, that's why I say dream it. You gotta dream it, and then it comes out the other end.
Becomes true.
So big up Joshua Ajayi, Crystal Palace centre forward.
So we can't wait to, you know, we'll keep it locked to Stamina for Sale team. All yourself, day, Anthony, Bilal, Ade, and everyone else like Coach Ayo as well. So yeah, we'll look forward to, you know, what the next couple of weeks and months will bring.
And let me just say thank you for coming down, taking your time out and doing this interview. You know, guys like you, I'm always rooting for you. That's right. Listen, I'm here to support everyone on their grind, everyone coming up. So I don't care if you're some big channel or whether you're just a man with a handheld camera or a mobile phone starting off, I'm gonna give you that interview, because I ain't hiding nothing. I'm telling you how it is, live and direct. So big up TNN all day, every day.
Thank you very much, Tunde. It was so much appreciated. Cheers.